In this video, I'm going to explain about this code, which is calculating the factorial of a number using a recursive function. The factorial of a number is product of all positive integers from 1 to n. For example, 5 factorial equals to 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 and multiplied by 1. Recursion is a powerful tool for solving problems like this, where a function can call itself to handle smaller parts of the problem. Well, at the beginning of the code, you can see two functions, read string and read integer, which help us to absolutely read string and read integer. Well, we'll learn how to code these two functions and use them in the unit. So let's skip them and go to the key part of this code, which is the recursive function recfac, which get the integer n as an input. It's designed with two important components, the base case and the recursive case. Well, this is the base case and this is the recursive case. The base case occurs when n equals to 0, in which the function returns 1, because by the definition, 0 factorial equals to 1. This base case is essential because it tells the function when to stop calling itself and prevents an infinite loop. In the recursive case, when n is greater than 0, the function calls itself with a smaller argument, which is n minus 1. For example, when n equals to 5, the function would return 5 multiplied by recfac 4, because 5 minus 1 would be 4. And then recfac 4 will call the recfac 3, and so on until it reaches recfac 0. Each step multiplies the current number by the result of the next smaller factorial. Let's go to the next part, which is our main function. Well, in the main function, the program repeatedly asks the user to enter a number and checks if it's valid. If a valid non-negative integer is provided, this else part would run. The program calls the recfactorial and keep the result in the result variable. And after that, as you can see, just when the recursion completes and the result is calculated, the program outputs the factorial to the user. And actually, at first it convert the result, which is an integer, to a string and then print it for the user. But if a negative number is entered, the program promotes the user to try again, as factorial, or because actually the factorial are only defined for non-negative numbers. For understanding this code better, let me explain the code again by giving a number to this program. So let's just imagine that the user enters 6 as the n, and this program runs. So if the user inputs the number 6, the recfac function starts calculating the factorial of 6 using recursion. First, recfac 6 is called, and 6 and since 6 is not 0, the function proceeds to return 6 multiplied by recfac 5. The process repeats calling recfac 5, which returns 5 multiplied by recfac 4, and so on until the base case is reached with recfac 0, which returns 1. At this point, the recursive calls begin to resolve the reverse order, Regfact 1 returns 1. Regfact 2 returns 2 multiplied by 1, which equals to 2. Regfact 3 returns 3 multiplied by 2, which equals to 6, and so on. Finally, Regfact 6 returns 6 multiplied by 120, which equals to 720, which is a factorial of 6. Well, to conclude my speaks, the recursive function simplifies the process by repeatedly reducing the problems to a smaller version of itself, down to the base case. This is an efficient way to calculate factorials, demonstrating how recursion can break down complex problems into manageable parts. Thank you for paying attention to this video.